like her beloved Yoda golf cart. Originally, I heard she was giving it away for free, but now she's charging. KRISTY Blanchard listed it for sale on FB. A few potential buyers have already reached out.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard's life after prison is unfolding in a way that starkly contrasts with the hopeful, redemptive narrative that had been so carefully constructed around her release. When she stepped out of confinement, she was met with an outpouring of public sympathy, lucrative media opportunities, and an eager online following ready to embrace her transformation. She had the chance to start fresh, to redefine her identity beyond the tragic and deeply disturbing circumstances that once defined her existence. However, in a matter of mere months, the public's perception of Gypsy has begun to shift dramatically. Instead of maintaining the image of a woman determined to reclaim her life in a positive way, she has engaged in behaviors that raise serious questions about her true intentions, emotional maturity, and capacity for genuine change. The gap between the persona she presented upon her release and the reality of her actions is widening, and the consequences are unfolding in real time, leaving many to wonder if Gypsy has truly evolved, or if she is merely playing a different role in an ongoing performance.
Gypsy is embedded in the true crime community, but there are some people that really think they're like best friends with Gypsy. It's insane. Some of these people are on live streams for 72 hours. Can you imagine digging through all that content? I'm sure you didn't, baby girl. I'm sure you actually just looked at what was clips, possibly, but have you ever sat in one of Bree's lives? Oh, you probably couldn't because she blocks everybody that joins her live stream. I just don't think people are watching Bree's live. So for them to stick up for a person that they have no idea who they're sticking up for is pretty comical.
One of the most immediate and glaring indicators of this unraveling has been Gypsy's aggressive and erratic presence on social media. Rather than easing into the digital landscape with careful steps, using it as a tool for personal growth or even just quiet reflection, she has instead dived headfirst into a whirlwind of controversy. Her online activity has not just been casual or lighthearted. It has been marked by unnecessary drama, emotional outbursts, and calculated moves that suggest an obsession with controlling public perception. She has engaged in feuds with influencers, blocked and unblocked accounts in rapid succession, and allegedly created fake profiles to lurk on those who criticize her. The level of engagement she has with online disputes is far from what one would expect from someone seeking a fresh start. It indicates a deep investment in her public image, to the point where it seems she is incapable of disengaging from negativity. The accumulation of screenshots and receipts documenting her behavior makes it clear that she is not simply an innocent victim of online scrutiny, but an active participant in fueling the very chaos that surrounds her. Beyond the realm of social media drama, another peculiar incident has further added to the growing skepticism about Gypsy's true nature: her bizarre and suspicious handling of the sale of her Baby Yoda-themed golf cart. What initially seemed like an insignificant detail in her post-prison life quickly turned into a puzzling series of events that only deepened the doubts about her honesty. At first, Gypsy publicly listed the cart as a giveaway, seemingly offering it for free, a move that could have been perceived as a kind-hearted gesture. However, within hours, her stepmother, KRISTY Blanchard, stepped in to clarify that the golf cart was, in fact, not free.
Gypsy Rose is scrambling and starting to sell her possessions, like her beloved Yoda golf cart. Originally, I heard she was giving it away for free, but now she's charging. KRISTY Blanchard listed it for sale on FB. Check out the ad. She makes it clear that it is not free. Selling Gypsy's golf cart, 48 volt with new charger, just replaced all batteries and cables this month. LED headlights, undercarriage LED lights, fold down back seat / rack, cushions in great condition. She no longer needs the cart. It runs great, best offer. A few potential buyers have already reached out.
This immediate contradiction led to widespread speculation. Was Gypsy attempting to manipulate public perception by appearing generous, only to backpedal once financial incentives became involved? The situation became even murkier when observers began analyzing the golf cart itself, pointing out striking similarities between her vehicle and the ones commonly used at Disney resorts. The fact that the cart bore such a strong resemblance to Disney's fleet raised eyebrows. especially given Gypsy's long history of deception during her time under her mother's control. Questions began swirling. Was the golf cart legitimately purchased, gifted, or acquired through some other, less straightforward means? And why was she attempting to sell off belongings so soon after her release? Given that she had media deals and sponsorships, financial struggles shouldn't have been an issue.
A few potential buyers have already reached out, like this person. They say, "Good afternoon, is this still available?" No reply. Then they write again, "Is it still available for purchase? I'll pay $7,000 for it if you include a picture of Ken's place of work. Or I can triple your asking price for a picture of the baby's birth certificate." So this person was offering triple the asking price, but she didn't respond. I think KRISTY's main objective on posting that on FB and mentioning it was Gypsy's is because she thinks she'll get a hefty offer because it belongs to the infamous Gypsy Rose. However, it's still for sale.
Yet the quick decision to part with personal property hinted at potential underlying concerns. Was this just an innocent case of decluttering, or was there something more revealing about the state of Gypsy's post-prison reality? While these external controversies continue to mount, Gypsy's personal life is also undergoing a rapid and dramatic collapse. The highly publicized marriage to Ryan Anderson, the relationship that had been presented as a symbol of her fresh start and newfound happiness, has already crumbled under the weight of reality. Their romance, which had been meticulously documented through photos, social media posts, and media coverage, initially appeared to be the perfect love story. Ryan was painted as the devoted husband, standing by Gypsy's side, showering her with affection and proudly showing her off to the world. The couple was seen enjoying romantic outings, ice skating together in New York City, holding hands and flashing smiles for the cameras. However, beneath the surface, subtle signs of strain were already visible. Ryan's demeanor in public seemed forced, his smile strained, his body language stiff, as if he were trying to convince himself as much as the world that this was the right decision. Meanwhile, Gypsy appeared almost desperate in her affection, clinging to him in a way that suggested an urgent need to maintain the illusion of their perfect union.
The love me and Gypsy have for each other never went away. You know, it's one of those, we still care about each other. We still have love for each other. Love was never our issue.
What was the moment where you realized, I think things are starting to go south?
Things started to come in play. And it was one of those where like outside influences, outside influences started to influence her.
Outside influences like her family?
Possibly.
Who was that? You can text him.
I don't care.
Delete it then.
I'm gonna want a divorce.
You know, I'm still living it. My mind is piecing things together. I feel confident knowing that I was genuine and my intentions were pure. You know, I think anybody watching can see. Right now, my heart's broke, but I'm picking the pieces up best I can.
The entire dynamic felt less like an authentic love story and more like a carefully staged performance meant to uphold the fairy tale image Gypsy was trying so hard to sell. But as quickly as the marriage began, it fell apart. The union that had been paraded across social media and celebrated as Gypsy's triumphant new beginning disintegrated, exposing the truth beneath the carefully constructed facade. Ryan, like so many figures in Gypsy's life before him, had seemingly served his purpose.
I think that there is a sense of freedom of following your heart, following what you feel like is right for you. And in my marriage, I felt like a part of me was lost in it. And so I feel like I found that missing piece of myself that I always felt was, lost. And now reclaiming that back, I definitely feel a sense of belonging in that space. I did love Ryan. Ryan and I spent 3 years of a relationship together. It was just a different love than I have for Ken.
And once that purpose was no longer necessary, he was removed from the picture. This pattern is disturbingly familiar. Gypsy has a history of forming intense, obsessive relationships, only for them to collapse once the power dynamics shift. We saw it with Nicholas Godejohn, the man she manipulated into carrying out the brutal murder of her mother, Dee Blanchard. She lured him in, convinced him to do the unthinkable, and once the act was done, she discarded him. Now, with Ryan, we are witnessing a strikingly similar sequence of events, an all-consuming attachment that ultimately crumbles once it no longer serves Gypsy's needs. As all of this unfolds, a far more critical question looms in the background. Has Gypsy actually changed, or is she simply playing a new version of the same game? For years, she has worked to reframe the narrative surrounding her mother's murder, presenting herself as the ultimate victim, a helpless young girl who was driven to extremes by the abuse she suffered. And while there is no denying that Dee Blanchard subjected Gypsy to unimaginable cruelty, the full truth of what happened is far more complex than the black and white story Gypsy has told. The carefully orchestrated text messages, the meticulous planning, the chillingly calculated manner in which the murder was carried out, these details reveal a far more intricate and unsettling reality. This was not just an act of desperation. It was a deliberate, well-thought-out crime that Gypsy played an active role in executing. And now, as her post-prison actions continue to raise red flags, the world is starting to question whether she has truly rehabilitated or if she is simply shifting tactics to maintain control over her narrative. Even the smallest incidents provide insight into Gypsy's ongoing struggle with authenticity. A recent example was the seemingly innocuous photo she posted of herself holding a drink in a wine glass. Given the context, many casually assumed it was alcohol. But rather than letting the speculation pass, Gypsy immediately leaped into damage control mode, insisting that it was merely sparkling grape juice. The speed and intensity of her response suggested a deep-seated anxiety about how she is perceived, a near-compulsive need to manage even the most trivial public opinions. This level of hyper-awareness only underscores the reality that, despite her freedom, Gypsy is still deeply entrenched in a cycle of performance and image control. Ultimately, redemption cannot be fabricated through PR strategies, orchestrated interviews, or polished social media posts. It requires real, meaningful change, genuine accountability, personal growth, and an ability to confront the past without manipulating the present. And yet, Gypsy seems incapable of breaking free from the same patterns that have followed her for years. Rather than stepping away from the chaos and quietly rebuilding her life, she has thrown herself into internet feuds, impulsive decisions, and an unrelenting desire to control the narrative. She is not merely reacting to scrutiny, she is actively crafting her own downfall, one misstep at a time. The world is watching. The internet does not forget. And as Gypsy's actions continue to expose the cracks in her carefully constructed image, the sympathy she once commanded is quickly fading. She is no longer the sheltered girl behind prison walls. She is free, she is online, and she is revealing exactly who she is. The real question now is not just what her next move will be, but whether she will recognize the trajectory she is on before it's too late. But now, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and let me know what you think about Gypsy's recent behavior. Is she still a victim trying to find her way, or is there more to the story than meets the eye? Let's get the conversation going. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that notification bell so you never miss an update. I've got more content coming your way, and trust me, you won't want to miss it.